Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Magic. J-Hope recently shared a short clip on Instagram stories. At first glance, just a casual meal. No stage, no big spotlight. But that's exactly what makes it interesting. Because the more you pay attention, the more it feels like this isn't just an ordinary moment of togetherness. There's a small detail that's easy to miss. Jungkook eating calmly, and in the background, Jimin's hand appearing just like that. Simple, brief, but somehow, it feels meaningful. Is this just a coincidence? Or is it part of something that hasn't really been shown to the public? In this video, we'll talk about how small moments like this can open a new perspective about closeness, privacy, and the things that may feel most real when they're not publicly presented. Recently, J-Hope shared a short moment through Instagram stories that immediately caught fans' attention. The clip showed a relaxed Jikook moment at a restaurant. No dazzling stage, no concert cameras, just a simple scene that felt warm, intimate, and deeply human. Moments like this have a unique charm because they feel behind the scenes, revealing everyday sides that are rarely seen by the public. But the more you observe it, the more it feels like this moment isn't just about eating together. There are layers of meaning that slowly emerge from small details. Hobie shared something very ordinary, just a meal, without any intention of building a narrative. Yet within it, you see Jungkook eating peacefully, while in the background, almost like a missed detail, there's Jimin's hand. It may seem trivial, but in a broader context, it feels significant. This moment doesn't stand alone. It feels like part of a repeating pattern. Small fragments that appear unintentionally, yet are still captured. From here, the perspective begins to shift. It's no longer about what they intentionally show, but about what naturally appears in their daily lives. At this point, the idea that if it's not posted, it didn't happen starts to feel irrelevant. That mindset is too narrow, as if reality only exists when uploaded to social media. In fact, for public figures who have long lived under the spotlight, it's only natural to want to keep parts of their lives private. Not every moment needs to be shared, and not every closeness needs to be displayed. This shift can also be seen in Jungkook and Jimin's dynamic. In the past, their togetherness was much more visible, through live streams, photos, and spontaneous interactions that clearly showed their closeness. It was a more open, lighter phase, perhaps before privacy began to matter more. Now, the nuance feels different. Not distant, but deeper. As if there's an unspoken boundary they've built together without needing to explain that not everything has to be shared. And that's where its uniqueness lies. When two people start showing less, it doesn't always mean distance. Often, it signals a stronger closeness just on a more private level. Interestingly, their time together is now more often known through third parties. Other members, indirect posts, or small details that are almost overlooked. This doesn't seem accidental, but rather a consistent pattern. The way they maintain their relationship, whatever form it takes, feels increasingly personal. So the idea that they're only together when cameras are present doesn't really align with what we keep seeing. There's one important thing that's often forgotten. Silence is also a form of communication. Not posting doesn't mean something isn't there. It's a choice. And when that choice is made repeatedly by both sides, it reflects an unspoken understanding, something they're both protecting. This naturally raises curiosity. If even accidental glimpses show closeness, how many other moments remain unseen? How many times have they spent time together without the public knowing? Most likely, far more than we could imagine. This is where everything feels more real. Not in a shallow, romanticized way, but in something simpler and more sincere, about togetherness that doesn't need validation, about choosing each other in everyday life, about having something that doesn't need to be explained to the outside world. There's beauty in not showing everything, in keeping some moments just for yourself. Not everything needs to be seen by cameras or judged by others. And seeing how this dynamic evolves, it's hard not to view it as a form of protection, shielding something from external noise. This change is noticeable. Some might interpret it as distance, when it could actually be the opposite. A more mature, conscious, and deeper form of closeness. Because in the end, the strongest relationships aren't always the most visible. Often, they're the quietest, stable, and not in need of constant proof. Simply put, It's not their togetherness that has disappeared. They still spend time together, still share moments. What has changed is how they live it. It used to be open. Now it's more private. It used to be obvious. Now it appears in small, often unnoticed details. In one episode of Run BTS, this idea is reinforced through small moments that seem simple on the surface but carry deeper meaning when observed closely. One interesting detail is the way they sleep. Jungkook and Jimin's sleeping positions seem to complement each other, like perfectly fitting puzzle pieces. This subtly explains why, on various occasions, Jungkook often ends up comfortably leaning near Jimin. Not something forced, but a natural habit. This compatibility even shows in small things. Jungkook seems to find comfort in that closeness, while Jimin, in his own way, appears to create space for it without needing many words. There's a harmony that doesn't need explanation, it simply exists. Another detail that caught attention was the morning atmosphere. Jungkook wakes up looking sleepy, with a soft voice that creates a calm mood. But then attention shifts to one thing, Jimin's bed, which appears very neat as if unused. This sparked speculation, though it ultimately proves nothing definitively. What's truly visible is simply two people who are comfortable with each other, sharing space, quiet conversations, and warm interactions. There's no concrete proof pointing to any conclusion, but there is a feeling conveyed. Softness, closeness, and a unique dynamic. Their interactions throughout the episode reinforce this impression. Light touches, small laughs, and the way they respond to each other all feel natural. Even when Jimin playfully annoys Jungkook, Jungkook's response still carries care. There's comfort even in small conflicts, a sign of strong trust. In team games, their cooperation also feels very in sync. They don't always need verbal communication to understand each other, as if there's a naturally formed connection. One memorable moment happens during a volleyball game, when Jimin suggests hugging every time the team scores a point. Even in a group setting, Jungkook almost always goes straight to Jimin, hugging him spontaneously and sincerely. There's also a moment when Jungkook instinctively takes Jimin's side during a small disagreement, trying to keep things fair. Simple yet meaningful gestures like these, when seen as a whole, build a picture of consistent closeness. In the end, maybe it's not about what's clearly visible in front of the camera, but about what remains even when it isn't shown. Because strong relationships aren't always the ones most often displayed. More often, the most real ones are the ones that quietly exist, calm, stable, and not needing validation. And from all these small pieces we've seen, one thing feels clear. It's not their togetherness that has changed, but the way they protect it. So what do you think? Are moments like this really just coincidences, or small pieces of something much bigger? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next Jikook Magic video.